Hey everyone, Robert here. I just want to thank everyone for listening to Across America. It's been a fun time. I can't believe we recorded 50 episodes all about my walk. I'm glad Jack stuck around and helped me through this series, and I want to thank all the other guests that have joined throughout its run. Obviously, this is the last episode, so we won't have anything else releasing on this feed. But if you want to follow us and see what else we're releasing under 7 Lamb, you can go to Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at 7 Lamb Podcasts. That's the number 7 LAMB Podcasts. And we're constantly updating and releasing new content, especially if you like audio dramas, which we've mentioned several times on this show. Also, even though the series has ended, if you want to go to patreon.com/7lamb, the number 7 LAMB, you can donate as little as $1 a month, and it all goes to helping us create more shows and more content under 7 Lamb Productions. Anyways, thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy this last episode of Across America.
Hello and welcome. This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Is it?
The culmination of a long journey that one of us has taken physically, but all of us have taken spiritually at this point.
I don't know if this is what people have been waiting for, though.
Mentally walked across the country with you, Robert.
I don't know if that's accurate either.
What do you know?
I don't know. Not much. I know how to walk across the country, and that's about it. That's all.
Is that it, dude?
I barely know how to do that.
We've had a lot of shenanigans. Mm-hmm. A lot of fake stories told.
Right.
Wallet guy.
Probably more of those than actual story.
Yeah. Wallet guy.
Right.
The Gatalope. The actual story of this.
Yeah.
The dramatized story is finished.
Right. Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston.
Don't forget about Gaston.
Can't forget about Gaston.
That's true.
And now we're circling the end of this story.
I've also learned that we talked about Seinfeld and Golden Girls and the Avengers and I think Alabama football, clowns. We talked a lot about...
We would fight wild animals.
Yeah, that's true. Different animals, yeah. We talked about a lot of different stuff on this podcast.
Every single person that you met in your journey that I have known.
That's true. That's true.
I know everybody. I know everybody.
That's true. Our friend Brian.
Yeah.
Mutual friend Brian.
Who was very upset with us after the first episode that we mentioned him.
Was he?
Probably not really.
I mean, at least...
I was like, stick around for episode 2, man. It's good. Just relax.
That's true, yeah.
And finally, he was like, oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
And, I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be together.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
I mean, we wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Right. We wouldn't be dating either.
Yeah, that too. We wouldn't be lovers. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Now we get to be miserable like everybody else.
That's true. So, this is the last episode number 50.
50.
I remember we tried to guess how many episodes there were.
Yeah, and I think your original
like
ballpark was... No, it was much more conservative than that.
No, I think I went 80.
The number 36 sticks in my head. I don't know why.
Maybe that's what you said.
Maybe. Anybody, all of our Twitter fans, please let us know what were our original guesses.
Do you think those 2 people will let us know?
Yeah, all 3 of them. So one thing I know for a fact, I have no way of confirming this. We have a lot of fans in Beijing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that listen to the podcast all the time. They want to know.
Right.
You know, they follow this story
from the start
very closely.
Right.
So to all of our Chinese fans,
right.
I know you haven't understood a word we've been saying this whole time.
They probably had the subtitles on.
Probably. Yeah. That's a good point. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, all our fans in the UK. I know we have one specifically.
One that's reached out. And stuff, right?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if you look at our download numbers, they're Australia, the UK, Beijing.
You said Australia, and my mind instantly went. Thought of Austria and Dumb and Dumber. She's like, Austria. He's like, good day, mate.
Put another shrimp on the barbie. Let's
not. Yeah. All of our fans down under, it's really great to hear from you. We're really happy that you've tuned in week after week. You know, want to listen to us. You guys are great.
The only thing I can say with an Australian accent is when I need to talk about a knife.
A knife?
If like something's not that kind of utensil, I can say that.
So I can do most of the accents. Where I get in trouble is when there's slang words that they would use.
Right. Conan actually went over there and learned some of the...
I saw a couple of his. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, our Australian fans, you're awesome. Please watch out for all the venomous snakes that live there.
And if you decide to walk across Australia,
God,
start a podcast.
Come here. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, maybe I'll join you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would actually be pretty cool.
If somebody called me, if Mick Dundee called me tomorrow and said, hey, Jack, I'd like to walk across the outback. I walk about with you. Mm-hmm. Would you like to go?
You would do it.
I'd say, I'm on the way, man.
Yeah.
What a pair.
Yeah, that would be... the only reason why I wouldn't walk across Australia is wildlife.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of scary.
Every venomous snake that's ever lived has been born in Australia.
And the spiders, man, the spiders they have
God.
there. No way. Yeah.
You know what? I'd risk it. I'd still risk it.
You do?
Because Australia looks so beautiful.
It does. A lot of
never
dry...
Been.
No, but in pictures.
In pictures and movies and Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, everything you know about Australia,
although he's
you did get
from
Crocodile Dundee, right?
Actually, no. I watched The Rescuers Down Under.
Oh, okay. See, well, everything that I've ever learned about New York, I got from the second half of Crocodile Dundee.
Same.
Yeah.
Everything I know about New York, and if we have fans from New York, you're probably awesome.
No, most likely.
Movies do not make me want to come visit you.
Well, everything bad happens in New York. Like, there's a lot of, like...
Alien invasions, things blowing up.
Yeah, whenever somebody wants to, blow up something, they blow up New York. Cause
always go for New York.
Yeah.
That movie would suck. We're going for Montana.
Yeah, we're going to bomb Butte, Montana.
Yeah. We're gonna bomb Boise, Idaho.
You know, not to bring us down, but when 9/11 happened, and I was at Northeast High School, and I was in ninth grade at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot of students, when we were like at lunch, people were like, "Oh my God, did you hear? Like, oh, what if they come for us next? What if they come for?" I'm like, "Relax, buddy. They're not gonna bomb the World Trade Centers and then come right for Northeast High School after that in St. Petersburg."
Yeah, that's kind of far fetched. But that was terrible. Everybody remembers exactly where they were.
Oh,
if you're from the United States and you were, I don't know,
maybe not Australia, but
not them specifically, but anybody outside of this country. I'm sure for us, it was. I knew the very exact place that I was.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway, we're not gonna go down that road. Jesus, Robert.
Sorry.
Way to derail us. Episode 50, and you're already in your own feelings.
Already getting, like,
good Lord.
Really bringing this down.
He's like, yeah, well, after that was...
Now, do you want to talk about the Holocaust now?
Yeah, right. You want to bring up Katrina? Jesus. WW2? Rob.
Yeah, whatever. You know.
Good Lord.
I'm just saying I want to make this like an epic podcast. I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about all the stuff, all the troubles.
Right.
I don't know. Anyways.
Last we left off.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I left off where I got to the keys.
Yeah.
So
we left off where you found your keys.
I found my keys, and I got my car, finally, and I drove home. No, I got to the keys. There's 100 miles of bridges and keys, like, once you get past Miami. So I still had, several days left. But I was going to make the most of it, and my mom was down. She drove down for, like, the week, and she was doing that thing where she, like, picked me up and stuff. And I was like, all right, so this final week of walking is going to be pretty chill. I don't have to have my cart anymore. I gave it back to her once I hit, like, Miami, like right next to Miami. Gave her back the cart. Just had my backpack, and I'm like, I'm going to just kind of just take in the scenery, listen to some podcasts, listen to some audiobooks, and walk the last 100 miles, which I did. And I went through Key Largo and Long State Key Park and Marathon, like all these different islands. I hadn't been to the Keys since I was like 12 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
That was like the last time. But I do like the Keys. They're
I've
really
never
cool.
been there.
Really?
I'm not a fan of super bright sun.
But what about like you don't like the ocean breeze?
Nope.
The salty air, the fish jumping and splashing.
Nope. It smells terrible. You get sand everywhere. And sunburn sucks.
Sunburn sucks. Well, that's what
Here I was talking about. I'll walk across Australia.
Yeah, and that's
with a
like
long
a lot.
sleeve shirt and a wide brimmed hat.
You could also wear that to the beach, Jack. You just choose
but
not
then
to.
why? Then why am I there?
Because you're going in the water.
No, I'm not.
Why not? You don't sharks.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've had that discussion on this podcast as well.
We have.
What was it? The alligator or the crocodile?
It's a crocodile,
or the
shark,
bear,
or bear,
or the shark.
Yeah.
Which would you least want to deal with? Right?
Yeah.
Shark, 100%.
Yeah, sharks, 100%. Bear's first for me, and then crocodile is second.
And you'd rather deal with a shark?
No. Bear's first with me. Like
Easiest
I would rather go to.
Oh
the bear.
yeah, easily.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably still die.
All three. Very efficient killers.
But
very good at what they're doing.
But I can't see the shark and I can't see necessarily the crocodile.
Exactly.
And I don't want to get in that death roll with any of them.
Folks, I also want to bring your attention to a movie that's coming out by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, he's not directing it; he's producing it.
He's producing it,
right?
If you see this movie, what is the name of it?
I know what it is.
What is it?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, I do.
Or do you want to guess?
No, I don't want to guess.
Well, that's not a fun game. It's Crawl.
Crawl. Thank you.
Yep.
Crawl is a movie about a family in a flood zone or a flooded
like
area.
Yeah, hurricane comes
and they're
through.
being harassed and attacked by alligators.
But it's weird that it's alligators, not
Let
like
me go ahead and tell you, this depiction of these animals could not be further from the truth.
Yeah, it couldn't be.
That movie is the height of ridiculousness.
It's just weird. Like these alligators are just hell bent
on getting after these two people and killing them.
Yeah,
in an area that's flooded where there's probably plenty of food around.
You know, one time I went to there's a park that I live by called Sawgrass Park.
Yes,
and Sawgrass Park has
hundreds of times.
It's got a lot of a lot of wildlife and stuff. It's a smaller park, but it's like a nature park with boardwalks.
It has snakes. It
actually has bobcats,
alligators. It has bobcats. It even has some coyotes.
Yeah, it's got like a lot of it's just a large section of woods. But I remember one time going to the park and there was a lady with a stroller and she had like a baby in the stroller and she saw an alligator and she went, "Oh look, honey, it's an alligator," and then like pushed the stroller towards the alligator and actually was like
nudged it
with the wheel of the stroller, the front wheel. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, now alligators aren't usually like, they're not gonna like really attack you unless they're hungry, and usually they attack like smaller prey
or territorial.
Right.
If you're around their mommy alligator, that's where they'll be overtly aggressive for no reason.
Yeah. So like, I'm not usually scared when I see an alligator, but when she's like pushing, I'm like, "What are you doing, lady?"
Yeah.
Like, what do you? And then somebody was like, "Hey, don't do that.
Stop doing that.
Do that.
You idiot.
Your baby's right there. They will eat a baby. They will eat a smaller creature."
Here's how big was the alligator?
I don't know. It was a while back. Maybe 5 feet or something like that.
Still, so you're talking 2.5 feet of body, 2.5 feet of tail.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care.
It's still big enough to take a chomp.
They can break your leg with their tails.
Yeah. Actually, some lady had her dogs loose. You're not supposed to have loose. They're supposed to be on a leash. Her dogs were loose, and one of her dogs ran down to the water, and an alligator started coming up, and she ran down there. I remember reading this in the paper like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
She ran down there to grab the dog, and she grabbed the dog, and the alligator, going for the dog, actually bit down on the lady and bit her leg.
Yeah.
And she fell over.
And then let go.
And it let go, and then went into the water.
Crap, I got the wrong thing.
Yeah. So, like, they don't normally just attack people crazily.
Sam, I know you listen. Mr. Raimi. Sam Raimi.
Yep.
I know you listen to this podcast. Give me a call, buddy.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
It's not too late to make this some sort of other creature.
Yeah, that's really weird. Speaking of alligators, I actually saw, like, in the Keys, there was alligators. Like, just they actually sometimes are known to be in like the salt water, kind of traveling and
brackish
stuff.
kind of thing.
Yeah, but they're like right on the edge. Like when you're just going into the Keys, you can see them like in the water and stuff, kind of in the salt water, but like
they prefer the fresh water. It's not like if you throw salt on, they're going to die.
No, they'll swim through it, but not often do they like stay in there. But they're known to be down there, and I saw a lot of wildlife like in the Keys. There's iguanas everywhere.
Yeah,
and that's an invasive species.
Yes,
but now they're like
here.
they're South America, but. Because people bring in animals or let them loose and stuff, like they actually prospered in the
Get
Keys.
an animal that they're not supposed to be taking care or don't know how to take
They
care
don't know how to take care of.
And then let it go because they can't take care of it.
That's what happened in the Everglades with the pythons.
Yep.
People were getting pythons and they were getting too big, so they were just like, I can't take care of them. Let's let them loose in the Everglades. And they were like killing alligators and shit.
Now it is an official, there's a python hunting season where you can go out and kill as many as you can.
Yeah, because they're destroying the wildlife.
Yes, they're beating the alligators currently.
Yeah, there's one.
There you go, Sam. Hey, Sam.
Yeah, what about pythons?
Get your pythons in there, buddy.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool though because I really like the island nature, like the island environment.
Yep.
So like seeing the water so close and like walking along these bridges and then seeing iguana. I even saw like a bald eagle down there.
Yeah,
and it was just like fun. I'm like, I didn't know they come this far south.
They do,
and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then jellyfish. You just look over the railing, you see like jellyfish and manta rays and or maybe stingrays. It was stingrays. It wasn't mantas, but stingrays. And then I even saw a sea turtle. I was like, oh,
that's
awesome. Is nice.
Yeah,
this is cool. I like visiting it. I don't know if I could live in the Keys, but it's nice to see.
Yeah. It's a very beautiful place. I've never been.
Right.
But my wife has been several times.
Nice.
She rants and raves about it. I know plenty of people that have been there. I'll have pictures. It's gorgeous.
No, it's really pretty, and it's definitely that island life where there's not a lot there. There's restaurants and bars and stuff, but there's not. I don't even know if they have a movie theater there or like anything like that. Like it's
right.
I mean, these are like smaller-ish islands.
Yeah, they're not very far apart, really, either.
The only one that's really far is that one bridge, the 7 Mile Bridge that I had to walk across. And there's a shoulder and there's actually a sidewalk pretty much along the whole stretch of the 100 miles.
Right.
So I was on the sidewalk or like I'd get on like the shoulder of the road across the bridges. But it was really easy to walk
guy,
through.
mile 6.
Oh my God.
Hon, look, it's Wallet Guy.
News travels.
That's us.
They knew.
I heard you destroyed a town up there.
yeah. They have family in Wyoming.
You'll stop the train, Wallet Guy.
Oh, tents. Yeah. We talked about how tents are just illegal everywhere, too.
You know, the good thing about this whole story, all 50 episodes, is the story about the people doing really cool shit and helping you out.
Right.
Far outweighs the people being dicks.
Yeah, I didn't really run into like that many. That. Well, that's another thing is walking through the Keys when I got to Big Pine Key. When I stayed at that Gatorama, people who own the Gatorama and let me have like the free junk food and stuff.
They're my best friends, yeah.
Yeah, you know them. You just added them on
I did.
Facebook, right? Okay.
I added them on my
LinkedIn.
Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
I had Plenty of Fish. The married couple.
They told me that they knew somebody who lived in Big Pine Key, and I think he was their principal at like a school that they went to, and they're like, go, like you can talk to him. His name's Mickey.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So when I actually got to Big Pine Key, I was walking along. I just got over like this bridge, and as I'm walking, I see this guy taking pictures of me, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, maybe he's a reporter or something.
He's like, I'm fucking Mickey, dude.
Yeah, he did. He's like, I'm Mickey. He's like, I heard about you. And he's like this older guy.
So happy with himself that he found you.
Oh, wearing his Hawaiian shirt. He was loving it. He said he loves the Keys.
Dotson.
Yeah.
Dotson. we got Dotson here.
I just watched that today.
That's awesome.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was wearing that, and he had like one of those big cameras, and he takes
With
a lot of like
lenses?
a lot of wildlife shots. And I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he's always posting pictures of like the wildlife. And at Big Pine Key, they have like kind of like a reserve. Like there's deer there that are only specific to the Keys called key deer, and you have to drive like a certain mile per hour within like these two islands. And if you don't, like, you'll get tickets if they like really pull over because they don't want you to kill any of the deer because there's only so many living on this island. So we saw them and we actually fed some of them because they come up to like the houses there and stuff, which is like, it's interesting. They're all like very like
don't feed
docile.
The animals.
Yeah, but they're the natives. You know what I mean? Yeah. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I ended up, me and my mom stayed with Mickey that night, and like, but prior to that, we were actually staying at like motels along the stretch. And whenever my mom would get like a motel or like stay at an RV park, she would tell them, "My son's walking across the country, blah blah blah," and they would just be like, "All right, you can have like we stayed at a motel for free and stuff." And my mom's a haggler too, so she came in.
So
she could do it.
Oh my gosh, moms are all like that. All you moms listening, because we got hundreds and thousands of moms.
There's, you know what? I don't know this for a fact because I got to do research, but I'm pretty sure everybody's got a mom or had a mom.
That's like, at one point or another.
There was a mom involved in your life.
My mom especially would always want me to go shopping with her because I'm 6 foot something,
right?
200 something pounds.
Fine. It's like, yeah.
And she'd be like, "What do you think? Can we haggle a little bit on this?"
That's.
She's like, "That's why I bring you, because I want to haggle for the price."
My mom would do the same thing, but she didn't need me. She would just go there, and she would just be like, I remember one time going, she's the only person I've ever met that could go to Target, and find some pants, and be like, "I'll give you $4 for these." Like, I'm just like, this isn't a garage sale.
Did it work, though?
It did one time.
I'm taking your mom shopping.
I remember there's either like a rip or something like the bottom. She's like, "Hey, these are ripped.
This won't work.
Can I do
$4?
Can we just do $4 for that?" I'm like, Jesus, Mom. And she got it. She got it. She talked to her manager. She's like the type says, like, "Can I talk to your manager? Let me just see."
Come here.
She
Come
also
here. Shut it down.
One time Black Friday. I remember being a kid on Black Friday. We went. It was the night before Black Friday, and being in a Walmart, and they didn't have this one thing covered all the way, like these toasters or whatever it was, and they were on sale for Black Friday. So my mom goes like, "Oh." So the guy was walking by. She's like, "Oh, I'll take one of those." And he's like, "Oh, no, we're covering these up." She's like, "Oh, no, they're not covered right now. I want one of these." He's like, "No, this is for Black Friday." She's like,
"Yeah,
I don't
give
care.
It to
it's
me.
Right here. It's on sale." She's like, "I'll take one." And I'm like, "Mom, you're so embarrassing." And then she was just finally just haggled her way. Manager came over. "All right, just give her one." And then I remember her going, "Actually, I'll take two." Like right after, I'm like, "God dang it, Mom." She's one of those people.
And she got away with it.
She always wants to talk to a manager. She's that type. Sorry, Mom.
Mom,
she was on
no. Don't apologize. Go get it, Mom. Hey, Mom. Mom, next time it's school shopping season, you, me, and the boys, my two little boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's just go get some stuff.
You do the haggling. I'll do the intimidating.
Yeah.
And the boys will do the running around getting on my nerves.
Think about how much stuff you'll get for free.
Oh, gosh.
You two combined.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's crazy.
Target
doesn't stand a chance. Doesn't stand a chance.
We're not even going to the bargain section either.
No. You're just going right in. You're going to like electronics.
Like I clearly have a box cutter in my hands. These jeans are ripped.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
You're like ripping them.
Manager?
Look how easy these jeans rip. I'll take 3.
These jeans are not as box cutter resistant as I would like them to be.
Yeah, I'll take 4.
I'll take 4, please.
For free, please.
Yeah.
Actually, if you can give me $5 for taking these off your hands.
Excuse me, sir. If you want to hand me that price gun as well.
You just go around the store.
Repricing stuff.
Yeah, so luckily, my mom's there, so we stayed at a motel for free.
That's awesome.
But Mickey, when we stayed with Mickey, we had dinner with him and his wife at the time. She passed away, sadly, not too long ago. But we stayed with them, and then we stayed with, and their neighbor was over, and we all just kind of like ate, talked about the walk, talked about life and stuff. And then
you all talked about the walk.
We all talked about the walk.
Not just you.
No, we all talked about it. But I remember after we ate, we were all like, we took some pictures and stuff, and then I was like, I have 18 miles left from here, because he was on Big Pine Key. So there's 18 miles left from Big Pine Key to the southernmost point. So I was like, you know what? I can do this. It's going to be about 6 hours. I'm going to leave early and just finish the walk. And my mom was like, all right, well, I'll meet you at the southernmost point. My mom, during the day, like, she would just drive around, go visit like little stores and stuff like that while I was walking. And actually on Thanksgiving, which I didn't mention this because Thanksgiving was like 2 days prior, she ended up buying turkey at like Publix or whatever was down there, whatever restaurant. She bought some turkey and then brought it to me while I was walking. And then we ate like in the car for like Thanksgiving. And then I, after lunch, just got up and started walking again.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. But it was November 30th when we stayed with Mickey. So the next day, which was December 1st, I was like, all right, this is the last day. I'm going to finish my walk. And Mickey actually was like, do you mind if I accompany you? I want to go. I want to try it. And Barbara was like, you can't walk that far.
Mickey.
Like, you can't do 18
No way,
miles.
buddy.
And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. So I was like, yeah, that's fine if you want to join me for the last day.
Like, oh, yeah, 6 hours? I've been on this trip for how long, Mickey? And you guys get to the end, and he's like,
we both did
this. We both walked across the country.
Can you imagine if he did that?
Me and my friend here, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, he just pushes me aside.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take pictures of me.
He gets there.
They do a news story with him.
He's like, I am Wallet Guy.
Fear me.
Fear me. Everybody's wallet starts trembling in their back pocket.
Yeah. They do a whole news story on him. He becomes
Wallet
famous.
Guy terrorizes the keys.
No, he was like, I'm just going to join you. I'm like, all right, like that's cool. So he actually did. He didn't walk the whole way, though. So he did not make it all the way to the southernmost point. But he made it. I don't remember how many miles he walked, but he walked with me for, several hours. And finally, he's like, all right, I'm getting blisters on my feet. He's like, this was pretty cool because we just talked about like school and stuff because he was a principal and my degree, I was going into educational studies. So we just talked about like schooling and teaching and all that kind of stuff. And
you looked at him and said, you dead weight, Mickey.
Yeah, I was like,
I got to go.
I got to walk faster than this. You're out.
Mickey, you dead weight.
And I tied a concrete block to his leg and just pushed it over the bridge.
He just sat there and looked at you.
Mickey since. Yeah, he looked at me as the rope was
going straight down.
Yeah. No, so actually, I don't remember if my mom picked him up or Barbara did, but I think because he just sat at like this place. He's like, all right, I'm going to wait here and they'll pick me up and I'll meet you at the southernmost point. So I was like, all right. So I kept walking.
And he was there telling his story at the end.
Yeah, at the very end, like how he walked for those few miles. When I got to Key West, though, Key West is a lot big. It's like the biggest island or whatever.
Yeah.
And but it's the last one. And the southernmost point actually technically isn't like the southernmost point, but it's like the touristy area with the fake buoy that's kind of sitting there that everybody takes pictures by. So I was like, that's like a good enough spot for me to kind of end this walk because I started at the Peace Arch, which was kind of like, something that I could say I started at and then saying the southernmost point. So as I walked along like Key West, like I walked along the water, which some of it was like a seawall and then the rest of it was like beach. And there's so many people out there. And then like you walk through, there's like a neighborhood area. And before I got to that point, I kind of just like sat on the seawall and looked out at the water, contemplated my walk. I was like, I'm almost done. Took a little break, and then I was like, all right. And I guess it's time to finish this up. So I got my iPod or whatever, put on the song. This is so stupid, but I put on the song Walk of Life by the Dire Straits. Because I always wanted to play that. That's a good song. It's a good song. Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. So took a walk of life.
Yeah. So I can go all day. I love that song.
I love that song too. So I was like,
and he didn't. The song wasn't timed perfectly, so he ended up finishing the walk to the Sultans of Swing.
Yeah, it was actually the next. It just went through their greatest hits.
Yeah.
So I put on that song and listened to that on my last walk, and I remember walking down this like neighborhood street, seeing the buoy at the end, and then I see like all these people, and they're all like cheering for me, right? And I'm like, who the hell are all these people?
Yeah, why are they here?
Yeah, but my mom,
Mickey,
and Mickey, and Barbara, and
Gaston,
Christy,
Barry,
not all of them,
Elroy.
Yeah, everybody I met throughout the walk were there. It was a dream. This was all a dream. I woke up like Bob Newhart at the end, and it was all just a dream.
Sick, man.
No, but they're all cheering, and it's actually just people visiting the buoy. But my mom, being the mom she is,
so
was telling everybody,
my son.
She's like, my son, he's coming, cheer him on. So they all like cheered, and then like I did when I got to the buoy, I just touched the buey, took a picture.
I'm out of here.
I'm done. That's it. And I remember like everybody who was taking pictures there, like they all came over and like were just like congratulating me and stuff.
That's awesome.
And then my mom, instead of staying there, this was the other thing is because I was still going to school at the time, I had my thesis, which I finished kind of when I was in Georgia, and then I tweaked everything in like Florida, but then I was like, all right, I'm done for the last few weeks. But I had to present my thesis in front of the class.
Right.
And I tried to talk to my teacher and say, hey, I'm walking across the country. I don't know if I'm going to finish in time.
Right.
But if I don't, can I present my thesis a different time? She's like, no, you have to present it in front of the class. She's like, I'm sorry, but you can always wait till next semester and do it then.
Just present. Don't do the class
not do the class again, but just
present. Okay.
So I was like, all right, well, if that's the case, I'm not going to rush through it. But if I get done in time, then I'll do it. The thing was, I had to present it. I think it was either on the second or the third. So when I finished on the first, I was like, you know what? I'll go present it. I'll go do it right now. I was like, it's all done. So that night, actually, because I finished it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
You didn't get to party.
I didn't. We went out to eat and stuff like that with Mickey and all them, like afterwards. But the next day, we drove up and drove back home. I got my thesis ready, and I went to the Tarpon Springs campus and presented in front of there. And I remember before I went to go present my thesis, the teacher, because it was an online course, I never met her, but I talked to her through emails. She came up and she's like, oh, so I was talking to Robert during the class. Yeah, we're married now. That's another thing. I proposed to my teacher after the walk.
Hey, babe.
This was for you.
Yeah.
So she was like, she just was, Robert is going to come present, but he has actually been walking across the country, I guess, while he's been doing this class. And everyone was like, what?
So what's your excuse for a C minus, Jimmy?
Why did you finish your report? Why did your report suck?
Yeah.
And it was funny because I had to present in front of the dean and like all the school heads and everything like that. So I was like pretty nervous because I'm not good in front of an audience. I'm pretty shy.
That's what you got me for.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you're the host and I'm not. So,
oh God. Hey, I'm here to present Robert's thesis. He's right over there. Wave, Robert. Say hi.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, guys. He's gonna do great. Let's jump right in.
So let's go right into this.
I hear somebody wants a tickle attack.
Ah.
So you just like kicking and giggling.
Yeah. But the greatest thing about presenting this thesis was that when I did it, I saw the dean like making notes like the whole time, like as I'm presenting, and I'm like, she didn't do this for anybody else presenting. Like, what the hell is she writing down? So I'm like nervous the whole time I'm presenting. Yeah. Finally, I finish it. They ask me some questions. I'm done. I think I did my whole project was about like technology and like the classroom and stuff like that. And afterwards, I go to sit down. Everybody's like, good job. And then the dean comes over to me, and I'm thinking she's gonna like asked me something about my thesis.
Hey, moron.
But she didn't. She just came over and she's like, hey, about that walk, like, can you write down your email so we can write this up and put it in like the school paper? And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
dude. Of course
I will.
Love
so I did that, kissed her goodbye, and then she walked away. But that was the other thing is when they asked me questions about my thesis, it started off like, okay, well, how did you, conclude this study and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But then like after about 3 questions about my thesis, it was like,
so I was
when did you finish? Like, how did you do it where did you have time to do it?
Yeah.
Like all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like I just get to talk about the walk and not this report that I'm like barely know what I'm even talking about kind of thing. So I like ended up answering questions, and even like some of the school heads were like asking me like, well, that's awesome, like that's cool that you did both.
I'm proud of you, Robert.
Yeah. And then I was like, good. And then we hugged,
and then
he
ripped his mask off, and it was your dad,
daddy. Which another thing is, after my walk, after I presented my thesis, I finished school, I got my bachelor's and everything like that. I didn't go back to work or whatever right away, and I was spending time, like I went hang out with friends that I haven't seen in a while, and then also went to hang out with my dad, and because it was around Christmas, like Christmas coming up.
Yeah, he's like, "What do you want, a cookie? You didn't walk across China, Robert."
He actually was like okay with the walk, and I remember going there, and my stepmom and her son, and like my stepmom's son's wife and her family were there. They were all there, and I remember they said like congratulations on the walk. Like we talked to your dad while you were away, and he was not happy about it. And I was like, no, I know. And they're like, what made you do that kind of thing? I'm like, I just want to do it. They're like, well, I think your dad's like okay with it now. I'm like, yeah, he has to be. I'm done.
You're
like
back.
It's over. I'm done. I'm back. We finished. It's good. And
what
now my dad
purpose
jokes
would he
about
serve?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he jokes about it and doesn't care. But it's just funny that after I finished it, it like, everything subsided and everything was good. So,
that's good.
And now my mom's not sad anymore. And my dad's not angry.
Bargain shopping?
She's bargain. Listen, all I know is that after the walk, it wasn't a spiritual journey.
No.
It wasn't for me.
Sure.
And I didn't really feel like I learned anything about myself other than I have perseverance. I guess that's it.
Right.
To me, it was more, and this is kind of weird, and I bring up my friend Tony because I think he didn't like when I said this, but for me, it was like a challenging vacation.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it was a challenge, and there were some times where I was like, this sucks.
Yeah. Why am I doing this?
But for the most part, I was like, nah, it's kind of cool. Like, I liked it. And even though I did have to eventually start doing schoolwork and stuff like that, like, that's all I did, walk and do schoolwork that, like, I had time, and I didn't feel like I rushed through it.
Right.
I liked walking, so that's why I always did as much as I could, because I just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I could have stayed out there longer if I wanted to. It's just I liked walking the amount that I did.
Right. And your next walk is along Russia.
Yeah.
All the way
If I ever had to walk across another country, it would probably be some European country, but not Russia.
Yeah.
Not Russia. Maybe the UK, but it's not as challenging, I don't think.
To pick any country to walk across, that would be a tough one. That would be a tough one.
The U.S. is pretty big, though.
Yeah.
That's
what
like,
would be
what
cool
else?
is walking across Japan from the top to the bottom.
That'd be cool. Like, Japan would be all right.
I don't feel like that would be quite as bad.
I don't think it would be that bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still like some villages and stuff like that you'd have to go through, and I don't know how.
Gotta find any 7-Elevens.
And I don't convert. Like, I'd have to learn the language a little bit to be able to figure out where I can get food and water.
What guy san? Hey.
Yeah. We heard about the water guy.
What is the guy? And you're just like,
instead of Gatalope, they got like I don't even know, pandas.
Yackalope.
They don't have pandas there. That's China.
Yackalope.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They got antelopes
all of
there.
our Japanese listeners out there, please let us know what
We probably have a
indigenous
few.
animals would Robert run into walking across Japan.
Now, Japan doesn't have a lot of gun crime, so maybe it wouldn't have a Gatalope.
They have almost no gun crime.
Right. So he would probably have like knives of some sort. Maybe.
Sort of lope.
Sword.
All right, so let's. I really don't want to. I don't want to. Kind of get you off the topic here.
Right.
Where'd you poop, buddy?
Yeah.
Tell the young kids that have stuck around this long.
Listen,
just to find out where you pooped.
I had to go wherever I had to go, and usually it was on the side of the road, and usually, I mean, if I could hit a McDonald's and stuff, like I would do that. I always hated having to go to the bathroom, like in a McDonald's or like a Walmart or something, and leaving my cart and stuff outside, because I was always worried that I was going to come out and like everything would be gone.
Now you start to feel the urge.
Yeah.
To go.
Dude, there's like one time where I had to pee really bad, and I was like on a busy street. There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I don't reach something soon, I'm just gonna pee out in the open. Like I have to. I was even trying to think of things to like do, like with just like opening up my leg pants and like just like sitting down behind my cart, like acting like I'm just sitting there and peeing out there.
Like you're looking for something?
Yeah, because I had to go so bad, but there's nowhere to go. There's no bushes. It was like, I think it was in like Nebraska. I just had nowhere to go, and I'm like, I don't want to get like called for indecent exposure or something, but I'm like, who cares? I'm like, I'm like, you know what? At this point, I'm just going to go.
Honestly, you could have explained that away.
No,
Son, what are you doing peeing against the side of the road? I'm walking across the country, dude.
Yeah, like where am I supposed to go?
I forgot to bring my porta potty. What do you want?
Yeah, I got to do it. And
okay, so here's my question that I was starting with.
Yeah.
I did not finish.
You didn't finish.
You're walking down the highway.
Yeah.
You see gas station, whatever, 5 miles.
Right.
But you're feeling it coming.
Yeah.
Are you more inclined to walk off the side of the road and make some fertilizer, or
no?
Are you pushing those 5 miles and making sure that turtle stays in its shell?
Yeah, I push. I go if I can hit a gas station. In fact, for the first 3 weeks, I didn't even go outside once.
First 3 weeks?
For the first until we hit. Maybe not 3 weeks. Maybe 2.5.
Way to wait for that bombshell to episode 50.
Yeah. Before we hit. No, actually, even when we were in the North Cascades, I didn't go because there were still bathrooms at certain campsites. So, not actual great bathrooms.
How cool were they
still.
to say, "Hey, I'm walking across the country. I know it's a campsite, but I gotta pee."
Well, I mean, I would pee on the side of the road, but I just wouldn't do number 2.
Oh,
until finally, I just had to do it and couldn't wait. There was nothing else we could hit, and you know what? Crouching to do it. That's why the squatty potty is so popular. It actually is better. Yeah. It's better for you. So, once you start doing it, it's actually not that bad. And you know what? I like it so much that I got rid of my toilet and my bathroom.
Yeah.
That's actually the studio we're in right now.
Yeah.
It's the old bathroom.
And now we have to
go outside.
Which is really weird.
Yeah, it's not fun for parties.
Yeah,
and people have to get used to it. But
there is no boys and girls room.
No, it's just outside.
It's just the outdoors.
And it does suck when we are playing cornhole outside and people have to go. But
yeah, if people are like, I thought this was no, it's not. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Any bad number 3s out on the road that you had to worry about?
Number 3s, both.
No. The diet of Rias.
One time, I had
already a good question.
I had I think this was when I was with Tony still. I got a sandwich from Subway. It was a breakfast sandwich.
Right. Ooh.
And it did not sit well with me.
Eggs will do that to you.
Yeah, and that was a pretty bad night. My stomach was not too good. Went out to the bathroom for a while, which is not great when you have really thin toilet paper and only so much of it.
That's awful.
It was. But other than that, I mean, it wasn't too bad. And I will say that there were a couple times, I don't want to admit this, but a couple times where there'd be an overpass.
Right.
And I would walk up the overpass to where the dirt is up there, and I would just go up there.
Oh, boy.
Because I had to. There was no other place. I'd be out in the middle of nowhere, and there'd just be one overpass. No trees, no nothing. I just got to make it there.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I left my cart, and a car, slowed down. I was like, oh, shit. And then they, I came down from the overpass, and they saw me, and they drove off. And I'm like, okay, good. I don't know if they were trying to steal my shit, or they thought I had a baby in the cart, or whatever it was, but... they drove off real fast.
What is this, an IED?
Yeah, yeah. Trying to blow up that overpass. But
in Butte.
Yeah, in Butte, Montana,
Sorry, Montana. You guys are important. We don't mean to be...
No, but there's just not a lot of people there, so that's the joke.
Yeah.
Not as much as New York, you know what I mean?
Right. Butte. That's why it's funny.
Now, are we going to dissect any more comedy on this podcast, or are we going to slowly wrap up?
Yeah, we're slowly wrapping up.
Okay,
I didn't know. Slowly wrapping up since minute 15.
Yeah, I think so, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. I mean, that was the keys, and that was the end of my walk.
Yeah.
After the walk, I decided to start doing podcasting, and I will say because I listened to so many podcasts on the walk was kind of you know what, I'm going to write my stories, which is kind of what story the podcast about this walk is.
Yeah.
And I wanted to write, and now that we do audio dramas, we also decided to do this one, and I like podcasting, and
I think it's you don't really need to explain yourself.
No, I know, but that's what I'm doing after the walk. It
seems like you're okay, guys, this
relax.
is why I'm doing it, all right?
No, but I'm trying to say that explains what story is about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the character development, because that was kind of how I was feeling when I got back. I wanted to always write, and I felt like podcasting seemed like an easier way to get my stuff out there.
I think for somebody with the artistic talent that you have,
oh my god,
and maybe
Jack,
not
stop, please,
shut up, and maybe not the means to distribute it,
right?
Like everyone else, you don't have high def cameras and
that's true.
Grips and sound and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
I think you do the most with what you got, and I think it's great. Not just because I'm a part of it.
No, but because of Brian, you did become a part of it, and I met you through him, and you started voicing characters for me. And I was doing the podcast with some other people, and they kind of dropped out, and we went our separate ways. So when I decided I'm going to go and continue with this and do more audio dramas, and then eventually do this podcast, I asked you if you wanted to join, and you said yeah, and you're like, I'll host it, and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, at least then it's not just me talking about my walk by myself.
For 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the things I love doing, man. Not necessarily just the talk radio style stuff, but the voice acting. I never thought without, like, I guess this is weird, like hiring an agent or somebody who would know how to get me into that.
Yeah.
How to do stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I like doing this with you because you have 100% control over
like what
happens, what kind of content,
what we do, what comes out, and then how much we put out.
And I'll say we've met some pretty awesome people on the old interwebs.
And there's a lot of people who have been following this podcast, a lot of people who have said that they like
commented
it.
And said, I listened to this whole thing.
It's kind of sad that this is the last one.
Yeah.
So there's not going to... Because I don't think I'm going to do another walk at least anytime soon.
Right.
Just because I like doing this podcast and we're trying to like make that something. So we're going to keep pushing with all the audio dramas we do. We might come out with some new stuff soon. And basically this episode or this series is done across America. But if I ever
Seven Lamb is not done.
Seven Lamb's not done. And if I ever do another walk, you could be damn sure I'll put it on this feed and we'll do across America basically part 2.
Hey man, if my kids are old enough and self-sufficient, we'll do it, man. Let's go. We'll walk across one city.
Yeah, let's just try it out. Yeah, why not?
No, it'd be awesome. But again, you're all wonderful people. We really appreciate you taking times out of your day to listen. Hopefully we're entertaining to a certain extent.
I think, and
we tried to make it funny and fun.
Yeah, not just
and then I was in Washington, and after that I took
like an NPR radio show. Well, and like I said, we still have other stuff coming out. So if you do like audio dramas or you already listen to some of the other stuff, we're going to have a ton of content coming out.
Yep.
And we appreciate it if you were listening to Story, which is the fictionalized version of this walk. And thank you for listening to this story, my story.
Yeah.
Our story. You know what? I feel like you're just as much a part of my walk.
I've added enough fabrication into it.
I mean, you know enough about it that technically you could just start telling people that you did it.
I'm going to do that.
All the data that I gave you.
I'm wallet guy.
I'm the actual wallet guy. And then I'm like, no, I'm wallet guy. And then the cop with the gun doesn't know who's the real wallet guy.
We have to say a fact about ourselves to make him see who he's going to shoot.
He's like, I don't know which one's the real wallet guy.
Which one's the real one?
And then he ends up shooting
and
both
I just
of us.
whisper my Wyoming and he kills you.
Yeah. And then later on, while you're like at home, he goes home and he's like sitting there and he's thinking to himself. And then he starts to realize that he killed the wrong guy.
And they cut to me laughing into
with
a wallet.
wallets.
Anyway, you guys are awesome. We'll end it on a stupid note.
like usual, I think.
Yeah, right.
I'll say, if you want to follow us, 7lamb.com, and we are on pretty much every podcast.
You actually have all this information that you could provide to our wonderful listeners somewhere.
I don't know where it is.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
At 7Lamb Podcast.
Spreaker.
Spreaker.com.
iTunes. Spreaker is the easiest way to do
everything.
it. I'm telling you. I downloaded this because Rob's like, oh, yeah, we're going to start going through Spreaker.
Yeah.
I looked it up and instantly had every single episode of anything that we've done. It was pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, it's on... you can find all of our podcasts on there, and they're like labeled in the different shows. It's really easy to just click through all the different ones that we do.
And if you ever have any questions... You can message us on Facebook.
We're really fast.
Or tweet at us.
We're really fast.
I get those notifications, and I jump in and respond to almost everybody.
Boom.
Actually, I think I have responded to everybody.
I think we have. Yeah, I think we've already.
Yeah.
Like we're
so
pretty.
If you're
quick.
talking to 7 Lamb, chances are you're talking to me.
That's true.
And I love you.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for listening. And I think Jack just died, so he's gone. So I guess I'll just say a final goodbye. Thank you, Jack. I'll miss you, buddy.
Bye, buddy.
He's back. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yes.
And stay tuned for more 7 Lamb podcasts. And
we'll see you around, okay? Stop being so clingy.
This has been a Seven Lamb production.